Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of Roundtable Pod Racers, where we're wearing the same stuff from last episode just to trick you guys. As always, I have Julie and Alexis with me. And this is your spoiler warning. We'll be talking about chapter 15.
15.
I was like, I forgot the number. The Believers. So let's jump into it. I'll give it to you, Alexis. You're our guide.
So we open up with the planet that you know Mayfeld is on. I forgot the name of it. But you see like a transport kind of flying over. It looks like it's like to transport more prisoners to the planet, or even transport like materials that they seem to be scavenging. I like the shot of the crane, the AT-AT crane
refurbished
thing.
AT-AT.
Yeah, refurbished. Picking up a TIE fighter out of the wreckage.
Destroyed.
It's just really kind of just giving kind of more exposition to the state of the galaxy. Empire's past. We're smelting down or scavenging all the stuff from the Empire to maybe transform into the New Republic's fleet or starfighters or whatever else. Actually, I really got I don't know about you guys, but I got what's the name of that planet that we find Darth Maul on in the Clone Wars when he had the spider legs and stuff.
I forgot.
I don't want to
remember
embarrass
at all.
myself by even trying to remember. But I definitely got vibes like that. Like it was like the same like color like scheme. It was like very junk pile and stuff like that. So I was really liking the aesthetic of this planet.
It reminded me of the opening sequence to Fallen Order.
Yes, and people were speculating that this was going to be Braca.
Okay.
I mean, again, I don't remember the name, but yeah, I mean, it was a cool planet nonetheless, kind of cool looking, and so we see Mayfeld,
Morak. No.
So Morak was the other planet that we go to.
After.
Yeah, that we go to later on.
Sorry.
No worries, but it was just cool to see Bill Burr's character returning. We knew that he was going to come back from the last episode. So yeah, we see Bill Burr, slaving away.
I like that we saw these TIE fighters like all beat up, because this entire show we've seen them being super shiny, pretty, and new. So seeing them like really destroyed and like dusty, I was like, that's neat. Because we haven't really seen TIE fighters like that. We've seen them getting destroyed, but we haven't seen them after.
Yeah, and to see the aftermath of like war and kind of like, well, let's not throw it away. Let's use the parts to kind of make other things. That was pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Which makes sense, right? If you have all this unused material, I mean, the New Republic is just like 4 years old by this point, so they don't have the sources that the Empire did. So you got to make do where you can. So we have that security droid that we saw in actually chapter 6 as well. With a nice little Imperial New Republic logo, and it's really cool to see how the New Republic is kind of like maintaining order. Again, they probably don't have the manpower. They gotta leave it to some droids to keep some order and stuff. So that droid was kind of, it was like funny, but it was like menacing at the same time. Like, oh yeah,
Very.
You don't want to mess with this.
That's what I was gonna say. It kind of reminded me of like, in a way, like this comes up later in the episode. This same theme. He actually is the one who brings it up, but it's kind of like you can't really tell who the powerhouse is at this time. Like, from what we know as fans, obviously the New Republic is the good guys, the rebels the good guys, but maybe that's not the case in everybody's point of view in this galaxy. Maybe they're kind of the same.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Huge theme in this episode.
For sure. And then we have, Miss Cara Dune, Marshall Cara Dune, Marshall
Mhm.
Dune, arrived to basically break Mayfield out of there. And,
Yep.
it was just as simple as just throwing your rank around,
Mhm.
I'm
I
taking
like
this prisoner and he's coming with me.
I like
Okay,
that we
you're
finally
following
got
him.
the explanation of what the medal is too.
Like in her belt, yeah, she
Yeah.
put it. And I love that. First of all, I love the prison suit and the fact that they had like the number in the side.
It reminded me
kinda
of
just,
Rose's
like,
jacket.
Yeah, and it also kind of like makes you like you're just a prisoner. You're just a
Mhm.
number, that was cool, and that she kept like talking to this droid about him, and Mayfield is just so lost. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. Where am I going? And bring his comedy into
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
And just walking, and Cara Dune just ignoring him, like, I got time for you. Like,
Yeah.
just come. And I love the opening line for Mayfield. It's kind of like, oh, I thought you were the other guy. And then Mando coming down, and
He's
he
like,
stays
"It's the
like,
other
oh,
guy."
crap, this is where I'm dead.
Shout out
was really, really
shout
cool.
out to Boba and his fresh paint job.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like,
Yes.
"Ooh."
What did you guys think about that? I loved it. I love that it shows like kind of like the respect he also has for his armor. And it's like this
Mhm.
armor was like abandoned. He's back home. So let me take care of it and clean it, because we've seen Mando also do the same with his armor.
Yeah. I liked the green. I thought it was a very nice shade. It was very like that army green, olive green, and I thought this is Boba color. This is nice.
This is the way.
Good paint job. This is the way.
Yeah, and it works on multiple levels, right? It's just such a small thing, but it works visually, and then it works for like the character, like you're saying, like it's like a revival. It's like a revival of Boba,
Yep.
But yeah, right off the bat, like Mayfield throwing out the comedy, Bill Burr, man, I'm a huge Bill Burr fan. I appreciated the fact that he was in chapter 6, but as we were going to talk about in this episode, I think he really stole the show in this episode. I think he just, with his comedy and comedic talent and even acting,
Yeah.
he was just, I was all for it.
I liked his performance better in this season than I did in the last. I was like, I really liked his character this time.
Yeah,
sure. His character development, his story, like his moments were just like breathtaking. So it was pretty cool. And then I loved going inside the ship and sitting down.
Yes.
And it like transform. I was just like, what?
Because I've always wondered. Cool. I've always wondered how it worked, because it's like it lays, but then it goes up, and like, are they laying this way the entire time until they're this way? And so that rotating, I was like, yes, they showed it. I finally know now how it works on the inside.
Yeah, it was very cool to see that fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very nice to see that.
And cool to see that Boba's in his own compartment, like driving, and like they were like in the cockpit kind of thing, and he was, where's the cockpit? You know what I mean?
More like cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like cargo. They were down there, and he was up there, like doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was very cool.
And then, I liked. I liked Cara and Mayfield's kind of like back and
dynamic.
Forth in this. This dynamic, this kind of opposites. Opposite end of the spectrum. Right off where she says, hey, why are you freeing me? Is because you're an Imperial. And like he took it like, oh no, hey, look, I'm done with that. But it's like, no, we're springing because we can use that Imperial knowledge for the mission. So it was cool to see, like, it's like, oh, am I good? Like, what's going on? Like, it was cool to see, like, from his point of view, like the wackiness of what's happening here and what's unfolding.
Yeah. And seeing kind of like the interactions also in the ship of, I don't know, I think this is where we see it. I don't know, I might be jumping ahead. Boba Fett kind of looking at the holocron, the hologram map thingy, and he has his armor, his helmet off. I thought that was really cool to see it because there's a little foreshadow what we see in the episode. But yeah.
I'm hoping like, because Din has been surrounded now by a couple of Mandalorians that take their helmets off. I'm hoping that, and like we see it later on, but I'm hoping that this becomes a trend. If we'll talk about it later, but yeah. I like
tell them
that
the plan
too. The debrief.
Yeah, they basically tell him what's happening and all that, and and then he points him to the next planet, which is Morak. Morak, I believe it's a new planet. I haven't really dove deep into it, but I believe it's a new planet. I don't think we've ever seen it before. And it's like when Mando's like, Morak, there's nothing on Morak, and it's like no, there's more than meets the eye. It's just like anything. It's like Tatooine was a desert planet, but look what all came from there. So it's kind of cool to like these themes, like unexpected like adventure.
Yeah, I think it's the first time that we see this planet, and kind of that I love the change that he did from like that prison suit to kind of looking. It gave me like Rogue One vibes, like what he was wearing. So I thought that was cool. And then getting to the planet where again we see more of a brighter planet this time as well, kind of continuing the theme of the action from last one. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, I kept thinking, like, I even said it out loud. I was like, I wonder where this was shot, because there were some scenes that almost like reminded me of like Jurassic Park look, and I was like, is this Hawaii? Like, are they shooting there? And so I thought that was really like a nice touch, that it was like, we haven't really seen this terrain in Star Wars. Like, we haven't seen like a pretty mountainy green planet,
or at least not much of it.
Right. To that level.
Yeah, because I actually thought of Yavin 4 a little bit. I kind of got that vibe. But yeah, just seeing the ship, seeing just the fact that we're seeing Slave One, like I still almost can't believe it. Like we're seeing Slave One in these
in
awesome
action
shots, in action, like protagonist main ride right now. And yeah, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving all this Slave One action.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they get to the planet and they start like executing their plan, but they come across a little bit of a hiccup where they don't really know who to go.
I thought that was brilliant. Everybody is like, who's the most wanted? So Mayfield is like, okay, who's gonna go with me? And then we have like Cara Dune was like, well, definitely they'll recognize my face. And then we have Fennec Shaw.
She was like,
no, I'm wanted by the cops. They're looking for me.
Yeah, she's wanted by like those ISBs. Like,
I thought it was gonna be her, because I thought when she was there last time that she was kind of working for them. So when she was like, not me, I was like, oh, not her.
Yeah, and then I loved the little comedic. Like Boba Fett, like, well, they'll recognize my face for sure. It wasn't the exact line. I thought that was hilarious.
I loved that line because it ties into like the clones all having his same
face.
and then but more importantly, that a lot of the clones were transitioned into the Imperial Army, into being stormtroopers. So yeah, it's like, no, they're gonna recognize my face. And it's like for Mando, it's like he could take that like, okay, he was probably wanted, or he probably did some stuff like Fennec did, but it's like, no, like he was the clone of all the clone army.
Like, yeah, that definitely went over Mando's head completely. But I thought that was great.
Sure.
It was nice for the fans.
I just wanted to comment on Fennec's styling again, because oh my god, that cool like red thing going around her braids. I was like, oh, she's so cool. I love her.
So cool.
Of course, I didn't notice that. I was just looking at like I was looking at her trench coat, like how it has like the black and then has like the yellow or like or yellow orange on the inside. Definitely like her style. I'm liking.
Yeah, the skirt stuff has the same thing on her braids. Like there's the red same like fabric, like I don't know what it is, but she looks so badass.
She's
She
just
looks pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah, but we get to a point where we're like, okay, they're talking about face recognition. What about Mando? Because we were like, what is this gonna be? And I was at the edge of my seat when he said, like, I'll do it. And we see so much character development of Mando in this episode that is insane. And the fact that it's like, okay, how are we gonna make this happen brought me back to Rebels and even A New Hope that they're taking
the
stormtroopers armors, and I love the fact that they make it also comedic again, where Bill Mayfield, he's like, oh, this guy's food stinks. I was like, yeah, we've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That was so priceless. I've always thought about that.
Me too. Because like we cosplay. We know that shit gets really, really hot in there. I mean, you've worn a Darth Vader helmet. I've worn a Kylo Ren helmet. It gets pretty sweaty in there. So
the armor, like I worn the Vader armor, and I know, for example, Tim has told me how many fans he has inside his armor.
Yep.
Because it's so hot. So it's like, yeah, that's for sure.
This makes sense.
Real thing.
Yeah.
But the actual tank, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but that tank or the transport is the same one from Rogue One, which is the same one from
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Actually, I can't be 100% if it's on Attack of the Clones, but I know for sure it's in Revenge of the Sith.
In Clone Wars.
And in Clone Wars as well. But I think in Revenge of the Sith, you see it in the Battle of Kashyyyk. You see,
whereas I was thinking like
over the sand.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that kind of like, I mean, Filoni bringing more of the prequel love into this, and because Rogue One is a hashtag Rogue One is a prequel as well. So so bring all that prequel kind of vibes into it, and
yeah, which the cool thing was that I was looking at a video this morning. Apparently that ship was made instead of the first walker that we see in episode 5. But George Lucas was like, no, let's do the walker here in the snow in Hoth instead of the ship. And then he used it right after in Kashyyyk. That's what I was thinking, instead of Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
So that was really cool. Kind of like the same thing of using stuff that it's already been there. It's already been like images that they've created in the past. Like that
it just hasn't been used.
Nothing goes
yet.
to waste.
Right. It's refurbishing the old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recycling ideas.
And then they start to trek, and we see a little bit more of the planet. We see the planet's people and how they kind of like they're like these stormtroopers. And then that's when we get the line from Bill Burr, the whole like New Republic, Empire doesn't make a difference to these people.
It's all the same.
We're just invading their home.
Yeah.
I like how it's just exploring that theme of like war, right? And Dave Filoni did a good job with that. I mean, I keep talking about Filoni, but I mean Favreau also was a part of the Clone Wars. So it's just he keeps bringing in this question of we saw it in Rogue One, and we're seeing it now where it's like who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, and I like that they didn't just throw that one line and just kind of leave it be. Like he kept going on with it, with stating, even challenging Mando's like belief system, like oh, so you have a stormtrooper or tank trooper or whatever they're called, helmet on now, like. Everything changes, so like things just change, your beliefs change based off of the circumstance. And I liked how he was really kind of like trying to like reach through to him, and and it's just this episode was a lot of like philosophical kind of like exploration of themes, and like war and good guys and bad guys and stuff. And it was really cool. I mean, Bill Burr being funny as it is, but it was it was a good
commentary.
Yeah, it's good commentary. Thank you.
Yeah. It was again fighting that theme that Star Wars has done so much in the past. It reminded me of like when DJ was talking in The Last Jedi,
Right.
About war and like finding out, oh, they're buying from the same guy, it's kind of, and at moments also a character development for Mayfield, because he was just like the bounty in the last episode that we saw in chapter 6, but we get a little bit of his back history because we know he works for the Empire. Mm-hmm. But then having like a soft spot for the colonized people, there's another colonized, might be the Empire, might be the Republic, it's the same from them. And then kind of mentioning, it's the same thing being from Mandalore, them being from Alderaan, they don't exist. And that really hit Mando, because he even turned around and it's like, shut up, like, don't mess with my people. So it was really cool to see Mayfield kind of poke at his beliefs and kind of get him to think outside the box and see, like, not everything is like that ideology that you have from Mandalore. Like, we've all been in there and we've all kind of fought the fight. So for me, that whole sequence was just like beautiful. Like, it really, it's like what George Lucas did with the prequels and the sequel and and they keep doing it over and over, even like with the Jedi. So it was really cool.
I think it's pretty much exactly what you're saying. Like, a lot of people frame war to be black and white. There's a good guy, there's bad guys. World War II, the Allies were the good guys, the Axis were the bad guys. But then when you switch it and you look at it from a different perspective or a certain point of view, that changes. And I think that's kind of what he was saying, and what this show in general has commented on, that like, we as fans have only known the Republic to be good. They're good guys. But in war, there are no good guys. They're both killing, they're both destroying, they're both brutalizing everything in their path to win. And, if you don't agree with it, then you're on the bad side. But if you do agree with it, then you're on the good side. And I think that this episode really commented on that, and I really appreciated that. But I also kind of wanted to say that, so did we get confirmation that Mandalore is destroyed?
No, I think he meant it more for like his people, because they are under the Empire's regime. So I think it was mostly about that, because also when he was talking, it brought me back to Saw Gerrera. I love he's one of my favorite characters. So I don't think that he meant it like Mandalore doesn't exist, but it's more like what they went through, and kind of like even Din knowing that that's a cursed planet, that's something that's out of his reach, because it's not the Mandalore that he remembers.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much what you're saying. Like, I mean, Mandalore didn't get blown up or anything, but I mean, it's
far as
void.
We know.
Ooh, dum.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, because we know the Great Purge existed. What if the final act of the Great Purge was the purging of the planet?
Ooh, but we hear Bo-Katan wanting to take Mandalore back.
Yeah,
I don't think that it would have been blown up if and she wouldn't have known.
Okay. I mean, I could see that also being framed as like taking the Mandalorian way back, because everybody is hiding and underground. Because, a planet is only a planet if their people are on it. So they could colonize a different planet. But I don't know, just like weird speculation, because I was like, he's putting it with Alderaan, which is a planet we know was destroyed, and he's talking about the fact that it was destroyed. So was Mandalore destroyed?
Yeah, I could see even I had to do like a mental double take when he said that. But I understand what he was talking about. He's basically talking about like metaphorically Mandalore doesn't exist anymore, but literally and Alderaan doesn't exist anymore. But I like that he's like, I'm a survivor just like you, and then Mando's still trying to like deny the truth, and he's like, we're nothing alike. So it was a cool little nice first crack in the egg, so to speak, of their relationship.
Right. Yeah. That's what I feel like this whole season kind of has been about, just like cracking the egg on what he believes in. And I'll get into that a little bit more at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But it's
So
cool
we
now
have
because
pirates.
Well, are they pirates though? Because I didn't think they were pirates. I think they were the people, the colonized people taking back, because they wanted to destroy,
not take. And pirates take.
Yeah, and I forgot what the thing was that we've seen in Rebels exactly the same way. So I was like, thank you, Filoni. Which also gave me huge, and everybody has been talking about it, Mad Max Fury Road vibes.
Yeah.
Like it was just such a action-packed, like the chase, and even a little bit of Indiana Jones in it. It was pretty cool. And to see how much Din relies on his Beskar armor. Because, like, now fighting with this one, and it was like, destroy.
Yeah.
You see, it's not, you don't have Beskar anymore.
We were joking when that whole fight sequence was going on and he just kept going. We were like, man, like, they're going to see that he's been, like, kicking these guys' butt. He's going to get a promotion. He should stay with the troopers.
For sure. I like the armor, too. Like, the color of the armor. Like that kind of gunmetal silver, I was digging it. I liked it.
It was really cool. Just the fact that the pirates just kept coming. It was like, oh my god. And
wave after wave.
So many times. Yeah. That final scene where he like throws the bomb was like, oof. That was cool.
Yeah, there was good choreography there. There was some sweet moves. With him like grabbing the stick and then kind of using it against them, and then at the end, or at the end of one of the waves, he like spears the guy like in the chest or something. It was awesome.
I even love the beginning where he like shoots him and he's like, what the heck, this gun sucks, and he just threw it.
Well, he ran out of charge.
But it made me feel like maybe the guns have like really low charge on them. And stormtroopers have the worst guns, right? So
I know, for real. But it was really cool because he was so determined, and he knew like he was doing this for Grogu. And even though we didn't get to see Grogu at all in this episode, it was really cool because then you see also Mayfield working as a team, which is not like him, and kind of being so nervous about driving and that thing saying like danger because it's getting hot or however it works.
Right.
That was really cool.
What I thought was cool was and let me know if I'm skipping ahead, but when the TIE fighters came in, it's kind of weird because I was like, how strange that we're like rooting for the TIE fighters and rooting for the stormtroopers right now. Because, like, us dark side people are always like, yeah, but in reality, like, when you're watching the movies, you're rooting for the rebels and stuff. So it was kind of interesting to be like, this is a weird take.
But I love that they did that. Yeah. I love that they were like, hey, I'm gonna mess you up right now and kind of make you root for both teams, so you realize that not everything is black and white. So I thought that was brilliant.
To the theme,
because then you have all and even the Rogue One, which I love.
I love them. They're so cool.
Coming out, and the other troopers and everybody like rooting for them, which gave me some of Solo vibes when they were inside. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alexis?
I'm the same way. I'm like, I caught myself thinking like, wow, I'm like rooting for I'm rooting for TIE fighters. I'm rooting for the Empire, which ties into, the whole theme of the episode, like who's really the good guys and stuff like that. But the Moraki, I guess I'm just gonna call them that now. I like their design. I like it was like unique, but still felt very Star Warsy. It gave me like Nikto vibes, and
So we hadn't seen that race before.
No.
Okay, because they look familiar to me, but I wasn't sure because the little horn things here looked familiar, but I wasn't sure.
No, they're, as far as I know, I mean, maybe someone can correct me, but I don't think that they've ever been, in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I thought they looked really cool, and I liked their outfits because it reminded me a lot of like some of the sequel trilogy outfits we see on different planets, and I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's a nice little touch that, you know,
Yeah.
clothes are different on different planets.
That new Star Wars look.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so they
But-
finally get in, and they're the only guys to make it
Made
out
it
of all
back.
the transports.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, for sure.
Rough.
For sure.
And-
I liked how I liked how it was like, yeah, just seeing that side of it, like glory to the Empire, and it's like,
Mhm.
yay.
Yeah.
And they were so uncomfortable. They were like, "Oh, we gotta do this," but you know,
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mayfield is like, "Come on, don't
They looked
mess
super
up."
obvious. Yeah.
But they get to the part of the cafeteria looking part where they see the ATM. That is apparently what they need. And seeing Mayfield kind of then it's like, oh crap, that was my commander.
Yeah.
I can't
Mhm.
go in.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
And then he's telling Mando like that let's just go because that needs a face recognition. And you know, well, you're not gonna do it. So
Right.
and damn, seeing Mando saying I'll do it.
I'll do
it
it.
just
I'll do
like
it.
was like
It's like, uh-oh.
What he's doing for his kid is like,
Yeah.
I know it was so the whole sequence and that whole part have my heart racing like at 1,000.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And he goes
too.
and the Imperial guys, they're like kind of already being suspicious.
oh yeah.
And the first thing it's like he's still with the helmet. And it's like, dude, it's not gonna work. Stop
Yeah,
being
yeah,
so
yeah,
stubborn,
yeah.
you know? But when he removes it, it's just like
And his
wow,
expression is
like,
like,
yeah, and I
Desperate
love
times.
acting.
mhm.
Yeah, his acting was on point because he was so awkward. He was uncomfortable. He was like, I'm doing this for Grogu, but I'm like dying inside. And
Mhm.
kind of keep doing it and not being in his territory, not being himself with the without the armor. It was really cool to see. And then Mayfield's character development went like, phew, because
Yeah.
he's like, okay, this guy's having trouble. This guy's coming over to talk to him. Let me just go and like help him out.
Mhm. When we were watching that scene, Mike actually had thought for a second that Mayfield did it intentionally, just so he could see Din's face. And like I wouldn't put it past him just because of like his personality and everything. But yeah, the character growth was great. And I think so I wanted to talk about it a little bit last episode, but I saved it for now. I think when we were talking about Thrawn and Moff Gideon, they are on a different level of Empire bad guy as this guy. Because I feel like this commander, I don't remember his name. If you guys do, you could tell me. But he
Hess is the last name. I think it's Valiant Hess.
Hess. Okay,
Yeah.
so Hess is like the perfect example, in my opinion, of an Imperial officer. Like he's a jerk. He's like, who cares? Like the Empire is winning. Who cares about a life? Like whatever. And so I just think it's cool that we see this, and then we see Moff Gideon, who's very like regal and like charismatic in a way. And same with Thrawn. And this guy's so like not any of that.
Yeah, Valen
Oh,
Hess.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're on another level. And, you know, the next scene after this was amazing because, like, yeah, he gets stalked and he tells him, like, this guy's pretty much deaf. And the guy's like, there was a little bit of comedy, but there is, like, still seriousness and danger. And you see Mayfield also being, like, uncomfortable and kind of being like, oh, my God, I don't know what to do. And then the guy was like, well, I heard you guys were the only ones that made it. Let's have a drink. And you're like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? And then they start talking. And Mayfield doesn't hold back, and he's
Not
just
at all.
like talking. And then he talks about Operation Cinder, which I replayed Battlefront. I was like, "Whoa, that is so cool!" I just replayed Battlefront recently, so
Nice.
Operation Cinder is something we see in Battlefront, where we see the Empire destroying planets just like nothing. And
we see it in
when we
Rogue
see
One too, right? Because I actually
Yeah.
looked it up because I was like, Operation Cinder is like super familiar, but I couldn't remember what from. And
they mentioned it, or it was something in the database, I think it was, but it's mostly famous for Battlefront 2.
Okay, because the main picture was from Rogue One. It was like one of the Admiral scenes or whatever. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Operation Cinder took place pretty much after Battle of Endor. I think it was just a couple of months after, where Operation Cinder was Emperor Palpatine's
so Battle
plan.
of Yavin.
No. This happened after Return of the Jedi.
Endor. Okay.
Endor, yeah. So this was basically his, I guess, contingency plan, if you will, I guess.
Okay.
That basically it was like these satellites that were going to be deployed or were already on all of these planets, and they basically like really disturbed the atmosphere of the particular planet, which would then cause like hurricanes and like like earthquakes and just crazy stuff like that. So it was basically literally a scorched earth policy. Like it was these certain planets that Palpatine chose. One of the main ones was actually Naboo. Naboo was under that.
Wow,
and
I'm surprised he did that to his own planet.
Yeah, right. So the thing is, the his logic behind that was that if, let's just say, life is a chessboard, right? So he's the king. So if the king dies, or whatever, then the rest of the pawns are not worthy. They weren't worthy enough to protect the king. So then they all must be destroyed in order for something new to rise, or whatever that is.
Okay.
So this was his resetting of that. So I'm really happy that we got this, because this is a big part of post Return of the Jedi lore.
Yeah, that sounds huge.
Yeah. No, it happened on a whole bunch of planets.
I'm surprised this is the first we're hearing of it in the show then, but
yeah, exactly. And it's only right that it's an ex-Imperial that talks about it. And so when I was just like, yes, like, oh my god. And then he mentioned Mayfeld mentioned that he was on Burnin Con, which I believe is another new planet. I've never heard of that one.
It was a city that was sacrificed for the greater good.
Right. No, but I'm saying, like, from before this, like I don't think it's ever been like it's like a brand new planet and stuff like that, or city or what have you. So so it's like really cool that this showed up. I was really happy.
I thought it was cool too that he was on the battlefield, like he was there, and he kind of has this like switch of faith because he has seen the brutality and the lack of empathy towards that brutality from their own side.
And how he talks about it, and it gave me a lot of Inglourious Bastard vibes, which I know a lot of people are talking about, because it was that. I just thought that, and it's like talking about Nazis and like the greater good and like long live the empire. And you see these guys, like, if he had like a meter of his anger, it just kept going up and up. And I'm just like, oh my god, something's gonna happen.
Which credit to Bill Burr, because that acting right there was I think some of the best in the episode.
On point.
I've never seen Bill Burr act like too much. Like I don't know if he's done other movies or whatever, but this was awesome acting on his end.
Definitely.
And the moment, it was kind of funny because Mandalorian was like kind of looking at him, was like, no, like
but he kept going anyway, and I was like,
going, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's like, and so it's building up to something, but just in his expressions, and then the moment came when he finally snapped, when Hess was like, yeah, and that Rhydomium you guys delivered, we're gonna make something so much worse than what that was. And he was just like, and then at that moment, like Mayfeld's face, Bill Burr's acting was just like distraught. Like he it was switched. Like he went from being angry to like distraught. Like oh my god. Like this is like, I don't know what to make of this right now.
Right.
Yeah. And it was so powerful. Then, bye bye.
And he's like,
and,
I'm sorry, I
and
had to.
Mando was like, wait, what just happened? That's not part of the plan.
Yeah.
But
made it
I
work,
love
though.
the next scene. I love that he goes, and I can't pick this up because it's heavy. He goes like, I never saw your face. I was like,
Right.
that is so beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that short trooper, like with his like plate, and he was just like and drops it, like
Yeah.
that was
He's
like a typical like cafeteria kid, like right before a fight, like at a cafeteria, like a food fight or something happens, like he was just that kid that's like the first one to react, like it was a cool little moment.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and you're like, oh, what is going on, because you don't know if they're gonna make it, and kind of
Right. They were in a room full of people.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like the past scene where they show you this is how many people are there, and look what you're gonna get yourself into. But the fighting after, and first of all, seeing Cara Dune and Fennec Shaw on the other side of the world, kind of like sniping, and it's like, whoa,
cool.
Protecting them as they go.
action right there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I loved how it was just such a motley crew of a gang, right?
Yeah.
You got a Mandalorian, a bounty hunter that's taken on the Mandalorian way of life, right? An ex-Imperial sharpshooter, a bounty hunter, sharpshooter, and then you have a New Republic marshal, like all working together. Like it was awesome. It was like a video game. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was like the team, like a D&D group that you randomly put together.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was pretty cool, and seeing kind of like the girls protecting Mando
as they like awkwardly shimmied.
Yeah, and then they going over the window and kind of coming out and going to the slave one.
For a minute, I forgot that they were supposed to be climbing up. So when they looked down to the water, I was like, are they going to try to jump that? That looks like they will die. But then they started climbing up and I was like, oh, right, never mind.
Yeah,
because Boba says, as long as you make it to the rooftop, like I'll get you out.
And I thought another cool little aspect of Boba's ship that we get to see in this is that when he says like, all right, got it, he's already like this way, so he didn't have to like go up, like he was already prepped laying like this way to go. I thought that was really cool.
He's a professional, man. I mean, you know,
that's his baby. He knows how to work it out. And it was cool because after you still see Mayfield mad about it, and then he took the Tusken Raider gun, which I forgot the name now.
He said it was a cycler rifle.
Yeah, it's the same one with the Tusken Raiders.
Right, yeah. It's Boba's Tusken rifle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And blowing up the whole mining thing.
The Rhydonium. Yeah.
The Rhydonium. And it was cool because it was like they worked so hard to keep it safe, but then at the same time, like, screw you guys. You get none today.
The cherry on top of the ice cream.
Yeah. I love that line. Hey, we all got to sleep at night.
Yeah, I love that.
That was really cool. But then it's not over. And then we see Slave One opening the back and kind of dropping.
Yeah.
I
we hadn't seen like episode 2, was it?
When that was going on and we saw all the TIE fighters, I was like, don't worry, the Slave One has got this. And then right after my sentence completed, it was bloop, poof. And I was like, oh, we really got this.
Apart from the lightsaber, like snap hish and like the rooms and stuff, that explosion is literally my second favorite
audio
sound effect of all Star Wars. I loved it. I loved it in Attack of the Clones, and when I heard it again now, I literally like jumped like towards the screen, like what? Like oh my god, like, that's crazy. So, man, that was awesome.
It really was. And then they land and they are chilling, and then I like that they had that moment where like Cara Dune was like acknowledging that he did well.
Yeah.
and just the whole like yeah, I think he died in the battle, right? Just like avoiding eye contact. I thought that was really a nice touch because it was just like she was doing the whole thing where like if I don't see it, like I don't,
Right.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really nice touch, and it kind of shows you like, yeah, we forgive you. You stuck your neck for us, so
Right.
there you go, be free.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a really crappy place to leave him because of the fact that he just a lot of stormtroopers might be on the lookout for him, but I'm sure he's fine.
I liked how I liked how it was Fennec Shand who particularly was the one who was like, nice shot. Like she's the sniper. Yeah. So if she's saying that, like
it was a really nice shot.
Really shot,
Yeah.
So it was cool to see that. And I don't know if you caught the there was another little tidbit there when Hess was like kind of questioning the characters. He's like, oh, he lost his hearing during a pressure thing during Tanab, and Tanab was actually mentioned in Return of the Jedi, particularly Lando when he the Battle of Tanab was the reason why Lando ended up becoming a general by the time of Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So when they threw that little tidbit in there, I was like, oh, cool, Tanab. Okay, nice little callback, to Return of the Jedi.
Maybe that might be what a certain new show announcement might be about. Some little Easter eggs here and there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are saying that now Mayfield will join the Age of the New Republic or whatever the name is. I forgot.
Oh, that show?
Yeah.
The Rangers of the New Republic?
Rangers, yeah.
Rangers of the New Republic. I was like, oh, something like that. Yeah, people are saying that we might see him there. So it'll be interesting. I don't know.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, I what else? What other options does he have? He's stuck on a planet, and stormtroopers looking for him. It's a nice planet, I guess, but where's he gonna take it? So I liked how they kind of let him go and stuff like that. Just his comedy is just like awesome. It's like, so can I go? Like, all right, I'm going. And then at the end, he turns around one last time, like.
And he's just like,
all right.
I like the Mando is just kind of like get out of here.
Like, come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
But then we have like one of the best scenes from Mando in this episode because we get the coordinates from Moff Gideon. So he's able to communicate with his ship and deliver not only an Muslim speech, but the same one that Moff Gideon uses on him, except that he said he instead of it.
Yeah.
When talking about Grogu. That was
powerful.
Yeah, definitely powerful.
And he was like, I'm coming for my baby.
Yeah.
You better be ready.
I liked how the officers like were almost like a little bit frightened.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like something else. Like I thought it was
like a time bomb kind of thing.
No, like I thought it was gonna be like maybe
something with Grogu.
Yeah, something with Grogu. Like, oh, he's escaped, like, or something like that. Like just the way they were coming up across, like, oh my god, like you have to watch this, you have to see this, and then it's just Mando being like a badass and like.
I loved it.
It's so cool. It's so cool. So now we just have one more episode to go, and we know it's gonna be time for Mando against Moff Gideon, Darth Vader against Beskar.
Really hoping that Bo-Katan comes.
Yeah, I think
because
I'm thinking about it, and I think she's gonna make her appearance. Either they're gonna get reinforcements, right? Either it's gonna be Bo, or what I've also heard is that it might be that Jedi or the Jedi reinforcements that maybe Grogu has called for. Either one, I'm really happy with. I'll be happy with.
Or both. That's the thing. I want like a team to come together, like Mandalorians assemble, and
Yeah.
kind of like
that
all
would
of them
be
to get the
awesome.
baby, because that's what I thought was going to happen with this episode.
Yeah.
I was assuming that it was going to be like, you know, he went to go get Kara and now he's going to go get this guy. I thought it was going to keep going kind of, but I'm just kind of like, Bo needs to get her Darksaber back, and
That's true.
it'd be a perfect setup. And what I was going to talk about earlier is the fact that, you know, he's been less and less about his specific Mandalorian way ever since he met her. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of hoping he will go more and more and more and realize that, like, it's not so specific. Like, he can be a Mandalorian and still take his helmet off and yada yada. And I think, like, her coming back would just, like, reinforce that again. So I think I want it.
Definitely. He's gonna need some, like you said, reinforcement. He knows he can't take him alone, even though he's not in a Imperial cruiser or like the big ones. There's still a lot of people there. He knows he has his dark troopers, so it's not gonna be an easy job.
Plus, Bo wants to freaking face Gideon, so it's almost like a perfect combination.
Yeah. I mean, and not to mention that there's a whole bunch of dark troopers. It's not only those 4 that we saw in the last episode. It's an army. So
it's an army.
I mean, as much as I love Din and Boba, I mean, and Fennec, I think 3 against, you know, a whole ship, I think it's a little bit like uneven.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of hope we get Bo. I hope we get the Night Owls, or maybe some Jedi, or maybe even Grief Karga comes with some mercs or some bounty hunters or something. Or this last episode is gonna have to,
or maybe a little help of the New Republic.
Or that.
Ooh, I like that. Actually,
that's
that
cool.
makes sense, because now since that Kara is officially a part of the New Republic, she could be that.
She might ask.
Yeah. She can ask, like, Carson Teva and Wolf Trapper may come in, maybe providing some, like,
maybe Filoni in the last episode.
That's gonna be awesome.
I originally thought that maybe he would try to enlist Ahsoka's help again, but with the new with the new announcement, I don't know if we're gonna see her again in Mando.
I don't think so. I doubt we see Ahsoka again. That'll be perfectly fine if she goes on her,
I agree.
Also, like, find Ezra.
Whereas they are, like, vastly overwhelmed right now by the Empire and the Dark Troopers. I think if Ahsoka's there, it'll be flipped. Like, her presence alone would vastly overpower them. So
yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be an awesome season finale, and obviously they're gonna leave us, like, hanging for another year. So
of course, be ready to want more.
Yeah, be ready to not have Grogu by the end.
That's too.
So many things.
It's possible.
Ooh, do not speak it. My heart cannot take that.
But yeah, I think we covered pretty much the episode. Do you guys have any other?
I know. Bill Burr, you beautiful bald man, you did it, you son of a gun, you did it.
Mm-hmm.
That was
awesome.
Stole the show. I loved him.
He did really awesome.
Yeah, he did great, and just Mando's his acting as well too, like his face acting, like just him being nervous and just like, I just like that little interaction. He's just like, no, like, no, don't do it. But yeah, no. I mean, we already covered that, but awesome episode. So much fun. Nice little drops, lore drops, and
throwbacks. Yeah.
Love it.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a jam-packed episode.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Let's see what happens. So yeah, guys. So where can we find you on the interwebs?
Julie?
You guys can find me at Infinity Jewels on pretty much everything. What about you, Alexis?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Lex_Adames. That's LEX _sign ADAMES. You guys can find me also on Twitter, Lex287. Give me a follow. Let's talk some Star Wars, and Be sure to like this video and
Mhm.
tell us what your favorite part was. Did you like Bill Burr's character? Did he kind of rub off on you the right way, the wrong way? What did you guys think about the story? And
What
yeah,
do you think about next episode?
yeah,
Who
what
do
are you
you
guys'
think we're
theories
gonna
about the
see?
next episodes and all that and more?
Yes.
And Julie,
Yeah.
sorry, Anna, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at La Geeky Life with 2 eyes, and make sure to follow our Facebook page, Roundtable Pod Racers, and wherever you listen to our podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get ready for that season finale.
I can't wait.
Okay, guys, may the
May
force be with you.
This is
Oh.
the way.